Yeah, man.
All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto you. How about Shemal Shabbat, Shimon Kakadash, double honor to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. Yeah, I just wanted to do a lesson on this article in particular. China imposes restrictions on research into origins of coronavirus. Now, my first question is why would they do that if everybody knows the coronavirus is so-called a virus that came from Chinese wet markets, as the story is told. When you go into the Chinese in the city of Wuhan, they said the wet markets that had pangolin and all kind of abominable um, animals. You know, their bacteria, infused. This is the story, of course, and that's what created the virus. Which was sold to citizens. Citizens contracted the virus. The market contracted the virus. They shut down the market. Now it's a worldwide epidemic. People travel from China all over. Now it's a worldwide epidemic. But that's not the case. If that's the case, then they would be totally pro people actually doing research into the origins of coronavirus, because that's the only thing that they'll find. But as people are doing more research and studying, as it is written, study to show thyself approved. Studying is a method of finding answers. People are starting to think, and what does studying do? Help you think critically. You critique information. You cut and trim fat, and you discern, and you learn how to pick the meat from the bones, and say, what you know what, I listened to that story, but that doesn't make sense. You know what, that makes sense. And as people are doing their research, which the word research, re is the back and search is to search back, they're starting to see that this virus was spoken of, and through even television and media before this virus even came out. And as people are starting to do their homework, they're starting to see that it's all a controlling method from the elitists, all right, and that could be the elite bankers, the elites of Esau, and the elites of the other nations. The other nations, China has their elitists, all right. America has their elitists. Russia has their elitists, and a lot of times the president that you see sitting on that seat, that's not the elites, all right. That's not the one that's really moving and shaking. And they're using this virus to sift the world. They always speak about, which Bill Gates himself is big on population control. All right, which he's been damn near one of the faces of this whole COVID-19 crisis. Speaking about the vaccines and things, which he wants to control the masses of the people. It's quotes with Bill Gates, which I could look him up. But just for the essence of time, and I wanted to go into this article. I'm not. Brothers could look up, of course, population control. Apostle Elder Gabar did a lesson on that. Brothers definitely spoke on that, and innumerable amount of times. So we know what time it is. We know that Esau is coming down with great wrath, Revelation to 12th chapter, because as in China, so is America. All right, that's a little, that's gonna be something I just start using, because everything in China, like Apostle R said, is going on in America. All right, that Chinese, communist China, where they have that dictatorship and they're restricting people, and they're beating the hell out of people. They got surveillance. It's a surveillance run society. They're imposing curfews. They track their cell phones. They have their faces uh, uh, seen through traffic lights and all that. America is part of the same. It's going to be part of that same network, because it's a beast system. All right, it's not just one nation. That's why when you read Revelation the 13th chapter, it's a system, not only America. All right, and we see in China actually is closer to actually putting really the new world order in China than America. All right, but I'm gonna read this article. It says China has imposed restrictions on the publications of academic research on the origins of the novel coronavirus, according to a central government directive and online notices published by two Chinese universities that have since been removed from the web. Yes, so the Chinese, and they've been doing that for a while. They've been removing truthers, killing a lot of truthers in China. They're really getting very strict in China, man. They're cutting off people that's actually doing their research on it. Like I said, they're shutting down websites. They're kicking their hell. Even you see how China's even acting towards Jake, they're kicking Jake out of the damn stores and things of that nature. They're really cracking down on the citizens, and that same energy is going to be echoed in the shores of America. Jake think that everything is fine and dandy and everything is cool. Hell is finna come upon the earth, man. And this devil is worse than them gooks. This white man is worse than the Chinese. You know, but he does it in a smoother manner. Scripture speak about in Revelations how he had horns, but he spake like a lamb. He spake like a lamb, but he had horns of a dragon. So a lamb is known to be a very delicate animal, but the horns of a dragon represents the power, you know, and that the dragon is what? The draconian legislation. The word Draco goes into the word dragon, and they're pushing draconian legislation to further restrict and keep the people clamped down. So it says under the new policy, all academic papers on COVID-19 will be subject to extra vetting before being submitted for publications. Studies on the origin of the virus will receive extra scrutiny and must be approved by central government, which the word government, govern is the rule, ment is the mind. The central government, those are the ones that want to rule your mind. They want you to think like a puppet. They want you to conform to the ways of the officials, which the officials have been lying to you. All right. Population control, like I said, the population is damn near over 7 billion. As you know, you watch animal documentaries, you watch all these documentaries, you see everything is dying off. You see that the world is extremely sick, and Esau knows the status quo of the world. You can go to Worldometers, which I'm a frequent user of that website, worldometers.info. You can look up actually the coronavirus status as well as water toxic, the toxic in the waters, the status of the water. How many people are dying from bad sewage? How many people um, it has everything, just pollution levels. It has starvation levels, which Lord willing, I could for just to put it in perspective through the spirit. See, they got the coronavirus worldometer, but they have various other worldometers where they'll give you the status of the world, and brothers could just food, energy, environment, births, deaths. And Esau keeps track of everything. That's why wisdom is pushing the census. They're giving out $1,200 checks, to people, but they have to be within the so-called census bureau. All right, they want to keep consensus on the people and make sure that they know, they basically toe tagging you. That's why this chip is such a heavy device, so that they can keep you fully controlled as a slave. Like I said, this is the site's not, the number's not popping up. Phone is acting slow, but brothers can look it up. We got the country's population, they got the world population. It goes into the toxic death levels, abortion. You got abortion clock. You could look at the status of the world, through the Urim and the Thummim, of course. And Esau knows, look, world population clock, 7.8 billion. It's damn near 8 billion people on the earth. And when it gets to numbers like this, you see exponential growth. 100,000. By the year, it's the year 2020. If 2030, 2040, that the number jumped to damn near 16, 17 billion. You think the people want, the so-called leaders of this world wants that many people on the earth, which they call us consumers or sheeple, feeding and sucking the life out of the world? No, they want to cut. They have a cutoff rate. All right. That's why scripture speak about how Esau is going to be like a madman, sparing none. But it says, a medical expert in Hong Kong who collaborated with mainland research to publish a clinical analysis of COVID-19 cases in an international medical journal said his work did not undergo such vetting in February. The increased scrutiny appears to be the latest effort by the Chinese government to control the narrative on the origins of the COVID pandemic, which has claimed more than 100,000 lives and sickened 1.7 million people worldwide since it first broke out in the Chinese city of Wuhan in December. Yep, and that's on point. And I have to use this site because my blue letter is acting funny. But like I said, as in China, so in America. America is gonna push that same, and they're doing it now. They're trying to control the narrative through the internet. They don't want people to do their due diligence, to do their homework, to really research, because people are starting to see that it's for the destruction of Jake. You know, it's not for our benefit, but it's for our demise. All right. This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. A short time for what? A short time to rule. You know, but guess what? The Lord is going to stop this man in his tracks. You know, scripture speak about, you know, how he swallowed down riches and he shall vomit them up. You know, matter of fact, I'm going to get that in Job 20. Because this man, this is his time to fall. And he wants to keep, grip on the earth. You know, but what does it say in Luke 10:18? I've seen Satan as lightning fall from heaven. All right, this is the time for this man to fall, or to drop. He had his time to run. You know, he had his course. He got the blessing of the sword. But this is your time to fall, my man. You know, you just got to, you had your time to shine. You know, you ran the fatness of the earth. You got your blessing from the Lord. You really should be appreciative. All right, because the Lord kept his word. You know, but this is the time for you to have to give that transfer of power unto us, the Israelites. All right. Which the Lord has said that the saints shall take it by force, because he's not going to give it up. See, that's that spirit of Cain. That's that spirit of Esau. You know, even though he gave his birthright up, but he still want to keep the blessing. It don't work like that. Job 20:4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short? See, this is only but a short time this man has been in rulership. You know, a small killing spree. You know, which that sword he did, that axe he put, was vicious. You know, sick in the world with plagues. You know, when you read Revelation 6, you know, about the red horse that came, you know, conquering, what, if I'm not mistaken, the one that basically blazed the trail of death. You know, the black horse, that's Esau. And he's still doing it even unto this day. You know, but he's losing that. He's losing that power. And the nations are angry, and the nations are ready to go to war with this man. So it says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens and his head reached unto the clouds, which Trump was speaking about, mining even the moon. So their excellency mounts to the heavens and their head reach unto the clouds. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which see him shall say, where is he? And that's all these enemy nations, like pursuing Psalm the 83rd chapter. That's the leaders of Japan. That's the leaders of China. Your prime ministers, your presidents, your kings, your royal family. All of them are going to slavery. See, right now they're laying low, you know, bunkered and hidden, you know, living cozy while everybody's just dying off. They basically sprayed raid on the earth, you know, and eventually they're going to try to push a chip, you know, pursuing the Revelation, the 13th chapter. But the scriptures speak about when he about to fill his belly, like I just said before. He's not going to be able to fulfill everything that he desires, because the Lord has something coming too. And that's why you've been seeing a crazy chariot sightings popping up everywhere. You know, so this is the time for the Spirit of the Lord to raise up his men, and for us to fight in the Spirit, of course. And the Lord, you know, fights with us, just like he did in the days of old. When we trusted in the Lord was right by our side each and every step of the way. So we have to trust in the Lord even in these times now. You know, even if they cut off the internet, all right, even if they try to push a chip on us, even if it is a famine, even if it is a pestilence, all right. You know, Paul spoke about that, how life and death, you know, all these things is not going to separate him from the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah. And all those men had that same reliance and dependence and trust in the Lord, so we have to trust in him also. So I want to end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Shem Shah, by Shem Kakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom Aki.